On 96.7 CKLU, we ask all kinds of questions about things that happen in life, things that are going on around us, things that affect us. Yeah, it could be political, it could be social, it could be emotional. This is Hugh Kruzel, and the program traditionally is called Eat This, Drink That. It is about food, drink, and quality of life. And as you know, I veer into the realm of quality of life an awful lot. Today's guest, well, I have to let her introduce herself because... And she'll tell you what she does and the impact it has on people, on you, perhaps, on your neighbor, on your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle. People quest for answers, and Jay Lane, I've already said her name. Jay Lane is going to tell us what she does. Jay.
Hi, Hugh. How are you today?
I'm delighted to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. To be very honest, I'm super pumped. But what I do is, well, people give me a label, actually. They call me a psychic medium. I never really called myself that, and I really never liked it.
You never aspired to be this, did you?
No, I never did. My mother always told me I was going to do this, but I totally denied it.
Was your mother already, did she have a... Is that called seeing?
Yeah, she was a clairvoyant. So my mother was a psychic, and my mother had a business between 1961 and 1983. So she
Here
practiced
in Sudbury.
Yeah.
Because that's where we are today. We're in Sudbury.
Yes, but she was, and she went by Beatrice, and she was an amazing tea leaf reader, and she would tell people what she sensed around them or what she saw. So sometimes she would see the past, the present, or the future.
Isn't that what most people are?
A lot of people actually can do that. They just don't trust that they do that, you see.
But they do want to see the future.
They do.
We don't care about the past so much because there's nothing we can do about it.
That's
the present, we're already here.
Yeah.
But the future...
A lot of people want to know.
Maybe we can do something about it by knowing about the past and the present.
Yeah, you know what? I think sometimes
Reinterpreting it.
Yeah, but sometimes I think that Spirit doesn't want us to know certain things because we're here to learn lessons, right? And the thing
I've
is...
learned too many already.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yes, I have. But I think that's why I do this, too. Because I could take the pain of whatever I've learned and I could turn it around and make it a gain in terms of helping somebody with what I'm sensing. So when I feel that way, I know exactly how that person's feeling.
Okay, I got to ask the question. How do you sense? Is it by touching something that somebody has? Is it something that maybe not even that person is there, just the thing?
No,
it has to be
not necessarily. So if I'm holding this, that's called clairtangency. Some people used to call it.
I don't know the vocabulary.
Well, it's just a clairsense. Clairtangency means to feel something, maybe the history of the article or even the energy around its owner. They used to call it psychometry, but now with the new age, they call it, clairtangency. But for me, sometimes I do feel stuff around that, but it doesn't work like that for me. I think I hear...
Is it touch?
No, it's hearing, seeing, sensing, smelling, knowing.
Close proximity?
No, not necessarily, because I can read people 2,000 miles away.
Like by phone or by Skype?
Yeah, absolutely. You can. It's just what you're sensing around them,
Now, this program is audio only, so
Yes.
people can't see that you're professionally dressed.
Yes.
You're very involved. You run a business.
Yes.
And you're a businesswoman.
Yes.
And you're dressed like a businesswoman.
Yes.
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 I expected more caftans and scarves and...
A lot of people feel that way. They think, oh my God, I thought you'd be an old lady dressed like a cat woman. I mean, oh my God, really? But they say you're young looking.
Do you have cats?
And no, I don't. But the thing is, a lot of people think that, or they have this preconceived thoughts of who I'm going to be. But really, I'm just like anybody else.
Okay, I have to ask this because this is really important to me, probably to the audience. Jay Lane, how do people find you? Is there a website? If I Google Jay Lane, will I come up with answers? Or does it mostly word of mouth? Somebody says, listen, I was talking to Jay and she said things to me that maybe had real meaning for me. Is that the way it works?
It works like that in every community, whether it's just your local community, whether it's a celebrity community, whether it's an anything community. The thing is, I think this business is mostly based by word of mouth. The thing
Trust.
is, it has to be, because when someone has a good experience with it, they'll share it with their families, and it builds trust in that relationship.
Okay, let's ask the other question.
Yes.
The one probably even... Are people skeptical?
Some of them are, and I'm okay with that because I am too. You know, I've had a lot of terrible readings in my life too, but the thing is, it doesn't mean that the person was a bad reader. It could be just maybe my belief system's not in sync with theirs, so it makes me skeptical, but it doesn't mean that I wouldn't be able to believe it if I was shown something, I guess. But it's weird because, how would I say it? People will want me sometimes to do tests before they come to see me for a reading. Yeah. So, for example, they'll write
hoop
to
jumping
me.
to prove that you...
Yeah. So I usually tell people, you know, I've already done hoop jumping. It's why I'm on the roster that I'm on, because I placed a very high percentile worldwide for readings. And the thing is, I wouldn't be there if, you know. And the thing is also, I think it's just based on, you know, what people have experienced. The thing is, I do this on a very large level. I don't just do personal readings. I do shows from anywhere from 200 to 1,200 people.
Shows? You mean like like at the arena or somewhere like that?
Yeah, I've been...
here in Sudbury, or if you were in Sturgeon Falls, a community centre, or up in Englehart, you could... maybe the Legion
I've been
Hall.
there, I've been a little bit everywhere.
So is your territory, if we could call it that, sort of northern Ontario, northeastern Ontario, or do you reach
I'm
further?
very popular there, but no, I've been to London, Ontario. I've done a couple of shows in the U.S. because my agency's there. And the thing is, now I'm working with a medium from the U.S., and I'm going to be going there on tour.
Okay, so you're not a medium.
I am, well, that's what they class me as, a medium, psychic medium. I just don't like the term. I never did like the term.
Do you have a business card that actually says that?
Yeah.
Because I wondered if you're crossing the border, the U.S. border, and the agent says to you, he says, Ms. Lane, what's your profession? Because they can ask those kind of questions. They can ask what your favorite color is.
Yeah.
And you say, I'm a
psychic medium.
And what do they say?
That's okay. Let me see your permit, because I have a 3-year permit to work there. I've had to. I have my...
because you go and do shows. But, I mean, seriously, like, if you're a board agent, you're like... Don't they like go, what?
Some of them do. They go, okay, tell me my future. Right away. I've had
want
a couple.
A free reading.
Yeah, they do. Had a couple.
Do you do them free sometimes? Or are they all... Is there an expense to doing this?
Well, there's an expense.
Like, I don't want to get too much into the details, because that's, you know, between you and your client. But there is a cost to...
There is.
There's some transaction that goes on.
If a person wants to take an hour of my time and come and see me, I'd be so happy to see them. But I have to charge for my time.
Right.
But if I'm in a grocery store and someone says, do you see someone around me? If I do, I'm going to say, I do. Yes. And then I'll tell them what I'm seeing.
You say, tell them to go down aisle 6 and get baking soda.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? It's funny, because I did tell a lady one time at the grocery store that Jerry and Joanne were with her, and she almost fainted. We had 4
because
people
you didn't know who Jerry and Joanne, but you knew the names.
I didn't know, but that's what she says. What do you see around me? I said, Jerry and Joanne. Those were her grandparents. But I never met this woman before, but those names came to me, and she was like
was
shocked.
This in like the dairy aisle? Or
no, it was actually in the pasta. It was the pasta aisle. It was funny because she fell to her knees.
That's
and well, we thought we'd have to call an ambulance. She turned all white.
There are unusual experiences that we all have.
Yeah.
Even the most skeptical can't deny that there are sometimes things that are just too coincidental, more than coincidental, right?
Yeah. You know what? I think it's the little things. When you have a medium or someone like me, that's an event that gives evidence of spirit, I think that's when people start to believe. So, for instance, I remember doing a show, and I said to a lady, she says, "That's not my husband." I said, "Did he die at 6:32 a.m.?" She goes, "That's my husband." I said, "Who died at 9:15?" She goes, "Oh my God, that was my mother." And I said, 6:29. "Oh my God, that was someone else." So she knew every single time that a person died, because she was there at that time. So sometimes they won't give me their names, they won't give me the disease, but they'll give me the time they died, or what you ate, or what you said to them, and it's just really weird. So I'll tell people what I'm getting.
Are you I think the right word is interlocutor.
I don't know what that is.
Well, do you sometimes hear what the message is and tell people? Like
I don't really
Joan
hear...
and what was the name? Joanne and
Jerry.
And Jerry.
Yeah.
And they're here and they want you to buy linguine rather than, so you don't do that. Because some people do.
Some do, but I don't. I never really think that spirits have messages per se. It's just that level of consciousness is always around us, whether we want it or not. We have between 4 to 6 spirits every single day attached to us. We're in a building like this. There's hundreds of them because there's so many people here, right? So the thing is, energy is going to be around us all the time.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is it energy?
It is. It's energy. It's just energy. It's a different form of consciousness.
Not malevolent. Malevolent energy.
Yeah.
I was going to say
it's human. It's usually human spirit that comes around other humans. You'll get other types of energies, but I don't tune into that.
Are most of them good energies?
Yeah, I'd say for the most part. There's a couple grounded spirits. Now, there's a difference
we
between
watch these
spirits.
movies,
yes,
and they're almost always like the outcome's terrible.
I know, but grounded spirits are different. Grounded spirits haven't gone through the light yet. So if someone commits suicide, they're stuck in their space. So let's say I go to a house and it's like, oh God, I feel like someone died here. Usually there is. You know what I mean?
So you go to people's homes? Sometimes
I do. I'll do group sessions with people.
Like a whole family, extended family.
Yeah. Or sometimes they'll invite me there after funerals. I've had all kinds of requests.
To do a cleansing?
No, just to do readings right after the funeral. I've had people.
A reading with cards or
no,
just a sense.
Just what I'm sensing around them, who's coming through, spirit-wise, yeah. And then sometimes I'll read for people before they die. A lot of people want to know, who's around them before they die, and you can really pick up spirits before someone dies because
everybody's open to it.
Yeah. Everybody kind of knows what's going on, and they're open to it, and those are really amazing connections. I know.
I know. So let's go back in time. You were, say, 14 or 15 years old, and you're, I don't know, you were maybe training to be something else.
You know what? I was just living my life.
Going to high school at that time, but did you, you go to college or university and you go, well, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, or I'm going to be this. You never probably really, truly thought you'd be a medium.
I always told my mother I'm not going to do that stuff.
Because she was.
Well, right? Because people laughed at us when we were kids.
I didn't laugh.
Well, my mother was a practicing psychic, so they used to call us Psycho Betty instead of Psychic Beatrice. You know what I mean? So kids will tease you. So I didn't want to put my kids through that. I didn't even want my son to know I was like this.
Oh, so they know now.
Oh yeah, my son's great with it. He understands.
Keep it secret still.
No. I mean, he's known for years and years. But as a child, I never really exposed him to that life that I had because we talked about aliens and everything from dead people to angels but I mean really intensely in our family because my mom did it for a living, right? My mother used to work for the police department and find bodies for them. So I mean that was another little thing that she used to do, and she used to do it very well. So the thing is, we've always had that kind of attention. They're crazy. They're a bunch of crazy people. So I always kept it under wraps. And when I was about 18, I started showing off a little bit with it. Yeah.
So why Sudbury? Why stay in Sudbury? Because, you go to Portland and the sign says keep Portland weird. Yeah. And you go to other places where maybe Manitoulin Island.
It's beautiful there.
Why Sudbury?
Sudbury's my home. It's where I take care of my sister. So I can't go too far, and I'm really connected with her. And then I have my grandkids here. So the thing is, it's really hard for me to leave. But I travel a lot.
Perhaps a lot of people need you.
Yeah. You know what? We don't have a lot of mediums in Sudbury. We do have some very gifted people. But mediumship, per se, I don't think we have a lot of it.
Well, most of it's done by people who move through the area, or people who go from here to Toronto or wherever. But you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have I hate to say this kind of a funny word, shingle. Do you have a building where people can find you, or is it strictly by internet?
It's what they do is they just go online and they just book with me and they come to my home. They
JLane.com.
MediumJLane.com.
MediumJLane.com.
Yeah.
That's very easy.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? It's that they can make an appointment.
What about emergencies?
No. Sometimes I have done a couple.
Yes.
Yeah, celebrity emergencies, yes. Finding people that were lost. There was a celebrity that called me. They had helicopters out and everything looking for a child. And I told them where they were going to find that child and at what time, and they did. And I felt so good about that. But they didn't make an announcement about that. They kept it to themselves. But
Well,
yeah, it's
even
kind
if
of cool.
you do make an impact, some people still wouldn't share it because
No, they don't want to because they don't want. Some people don't want the association to a medium or psychic.
Do people come and ask, since we talked about the future, to come and say, Jaylene, should I take this job?
Yeah, some people do.
Should I move?
Yeah.
Should I do? I mean, are these the?
Some people
I don't know what the
ask those
questions
things.
are.
They do. They ask a lot of those questions, but the thing is, I don't think
Should I
that
marry this person? Should I? Is that a big one?
But yeah,
that's a big
sometimes,
one.
or is my husband cheating, or is my wife cheating? I get a lot of those. But I'm not there to tattletale on those people.
Right.
I'm there to tell them what I hear, see, sense, smell, and also to make them understand that they need to make their own decisions. We're not professionals. We can't give advice of legal, financial, medical. If I were to give that kind of advice, I'd be in a lot of trouble. But I make people understand that they need these type of people in their lives in order to move forward. And women that come, or men that come to me and ask me, let's say, if their husbands or wives are cheating, I say, you have to hire a private investigator. It's not my job. Don't need mad husband or wife knocking at my door. And I always tell them that
Oh,
because
yes,
I'm very,
of course,
very
that would.
well. It's true because the thing is, out of fairness for that person as well, I don't know what the heck's going on.
No.
I'm not a mind reader, and I'm not there to judge the
I
relationship.
wanted to ask that question about mind. So it's not.
No.
Can you really define how you?
Yes, I can. We have a mentalist on I'm on a roster called InspirationNationProductions.com, and they have like people like James Van Praagh, everybody, Barbara DeAngelis, you name it. They got this really wicked mentalist, and his name is Danny Blue. He's from Budapest. The guy's amazing. I mean, he could tell you just by talking to you for a few minutes, asking you a couple questions, your first kiss, how old you were, what date it was. I mean, he could tell you anything.
Is it really that's what it's all about? Is helping people?
It is. Because you know what? When people have a
Giving
belief,
people peace?
well, first of all, I educate them. I educate them on death. People need to know what it's like to be dead or what to expect when they die, because nobody dies every day. It's, you stub your toe every day, you bang your nose or something, but you do not die every day. I've died already, so I already know what that's like, but who knows? I may have a different experience next time around. The second thing is they have to understand consciousness and how it works, because we're creators. We were created in someone's image, but we create our destinies with our thoughts.
And actions.
Yeah, and actions. And the thing is, it's that perception that we're living in 3D. My subconscious being and my unconscious being still operate, even though I'm not consciously aware of it. So the thing is, people don't think we live in 3D, but we do. So when I tell people, are you dreaming of the dead? They say, yeah. That's because you're on the other side.
So this program is about quality of life, and really
is.
you're impacting people's quality of life.
I think so. I've had people that were ready to commit suicide because their kids have died that now help other families with children that have died because they're understanding where their kids are. They know because they ate pizza yesterday and they were flinging pepperonis at each other, and I could see that in my mind's eye. They know their son's around. You know what I mean? It's just little things like that when you give them evidence. So if I tell someone, oh, I see you taking cross off. I told this to someone once. I see you taking cross off of a headstone, opening the trunk and just throwing it in. And I said, you're cursing like a sailor. And he goes, who saw that? I said, your mother. He goes, oh my God.
And then he realizes his mother's long gone.
But he realizes also that someone's got to be seeing this. He hasn't told anybody yet. Didn't tell his wife. He took a fit at the cemetery, and then he took the cross and he got really angry and he was cursing, yelling, and then he drove off. And I said, you actually spun your tires. And I said, then you ate a chocolate bar. You went to the grocery store, you picked up a chocolate, and how do you know exactly what I did that day? I said, because I'm seeing it. Spirit's with you. They're showing me through their eyes what you're doing.
Does it ever make you in your own head a little crazy?
It's, you know what?
Because there's all this stuff
Hugh,
crowding.
No.
It's not crowding?
No, not really, because I've been like this all my life. Oh. It's like a natural thing for me. I'm so wired this way. It's like people say, do you turn it off? I said, can you go blind for 5 minutes? They go, well, no. same thing with me. It's
Well, what
just
about when you close
things.
your eyes, when you go to sleep?
I don't sleep very well, just because I get interrupted a lot. But I do sleep, but I sleep well, and I feel good. It's just that sometimes I get weird visitors when I sleep. And
Well, you've been a great visitor here on this program,
There. Oh my
and
God.
I do look forward to talking to James as well. You have an event coming up. You have an activity coming up here in Sudbury, I think, and all across the north. Right?
Well, actually, I'm going on a big tour with James Van Praagh, who did The Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt. He was the creator, and I loved his book, Talking to Heaven, which Oprah had endorsed, but we're very lucky to be able to have this gentleman come
And
up
that's
north.
mostly in September?
That is going to be September 20th here at the Fraser Auditorium in
okay.
Laurentian U, and I'm really, really excited about that. We're going to be in Hamilton before that, Belleville, Ottawa, then Sudbury, and then Timmins.
Timmins
Yeah.
to wrap up.
Yeah.
Wow, so people can come and experience
Yep.
a little slice of what?
Well, you know what? There's laughter, there's tears, but there's a lot of closure, and I like that because, especially the smaller communities, like Sudbury's a smaller community, and people kind
Or a
of
big
know
city
each
with a
other.
small, or
Well, yeah.
small city with a big heart.
But when I go somewhere, people know each other. But when they see somebody get closure, it really heals the heart, And so I think it's really great. I've always had some fantastic shows here in Sudbury. The people have always been receptive, and my hometown's always made me feel on top of the world, So I'm so thankful for that. But we have laughter, we have tears, we have joy, and we have a lot of closure. And I think that's the biggest thing is the closure. Even myself, I cry, and it's.
No, I
It's
don't think you
good.
could help not
Yeah,
to,
you
right?
couldn't. You should hear some of the stories, and yeah.
Well, we look forward to hearing more about this. And,
Yeah.
and if you bring an improved quality of life to any client, I have to thank you for being our guest today
Aw,
here.
thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome. On CKLU 96.7. This is being Hugh Kruzel, and we will enjoy a conversation also with James. I have to remember his last name, and I never can say it properly.
Van Praagh.
Van Praagh.
Yes.
I probably say Von instead of Van. But anyways,
I love
we look forward to it. Jaylene, medium?
Medium. Yes.
Wow. I think perhaps more than medium. Well done.
Yeah, there you go. Small, medium, at large. How's that?
X, for me, X large. Thank you very much. On 96.7 on your FM dial. I have the good fortune of being able to reach James Van Praagh right now, and he's part of Jaylane's visitation, or maybe he's actually the keynote. James, are you the feature of the events that are coming up?
Well, I think Jaylane and myself will share the evening, but I think I'm very well known for this 40 years, so most people recognize me probably.
Well, what actually do you do?
Well, what we do is we are mediums, so we actually reach the other side of life, the spirit world, and we bring through messages from loved ones who passed over to their loved ones on the earth with evidential details such as names, events, addresses, memories that they had of them, and it's really to prove that the consciousness survives death. That's really what we're doing.
Well, when did you wake up to this? Were you 5 or 6 years old and you went,
Yeah.
oh my God, I can do this thing?
Well, as a young child, we're always measuring the world we're in by our experiences as young kids, and to me, I would always see colors around people and know things about people, and I'd see spirit all the time, just like in the movie The Sixth Sense. But it was very positive. I see very positive people and nothing very terrifying. And I asked my mother, I said, who are those people at the end of the bed when I was saying my prayers? And she said, oh, they're God's angels. You can see them too. I used to see them when I was a little girl. So for me, it runs in the family. It's genetic, and I was always able to see them. And my mother said, just got to be careful because not everybody can see them. And to me, it was just, I thought everybody could see them. That's the way life was. But obviously not. We found out later on.
Does this impinge upon your life at all? Do you sometimes go, get out of my head, get out of my vision?
No, not at all. It's quite the opposite, because when you work with the spirit world, you really have to bring your mind to a certain level, we like to say frequency or vibration of energy. You have to raise your vibration to a very high level and open up the mind, and then the spirit people can lower their thoughts. They live in everything's energy, so they have to lower their thoughts by just saying, I got to lower myself down to that level that the medium's able to pick up, and they stand there and they will then lower themselves down and send a thought from their mind to my mind, because the mind is what continues on. The mind is the soul, And so from their mind, they'll send a thought, a memory, an emotion into my mind, into the mind of the medium. And that's why it's called mediumship, because we're meeting halfway in the spirit world, the earth world. And then I'm able to receive, if you will, these telepathic thoughts, these emotional thoughts, and give them out to the audience members. So it's really very hard work, because you really have to pay very close attention to what's going on.
Well, you don't want to get it wrong, right?
You don't want to get it wrong, and that comes in years of development to really learn how to listen very well. So I'm a really good listener, I guess. The concentration of listening is there.
So when you were like you were a kid, we talked about that. But has your experience changed? Have you become a better medium as you've aged?
Oh, sure, yes. Life has done that, and of course, we're reaching the spirit world for many, 40 years. Every reading I do, you expand the mind a little bit more. You learn to perfect it. You learn the skill. And there, yes, without a doubt. But every single experience I have is like a miracle to me. It's a new experience. So I have to approach it as a new experience, because I certainly don't want to go in there expecting the same old thing, because you never will. It's always
Does it
something
drain
new.
you?
No, quite the opposite.
It invigorates you. Oh, wow.
It energizes. And I get the feeling of love from the loved ones and the loved ones on the earth. Because love, like life, never dies. Love continues on. So I'm really the residue of that love energy. So no, I feel great, actually.
No, because I know watching some videos and seeing some audience interaction that it's very emotional. I mean, there are tears often. There are cheers as well, but people are like overwhelmed sometimes.
It's intense. Just a quick example of one, and this is one of many hundreds of thousands I've done, but one that I remember very well, about 4 years ago. I was in Maui, Hawaii, and a little spirit girl, 3 years old, she was a spirit, and she was jumping up and down, and she said, my name's Micah. I want to say hello to my mommy and daddy. They're in the back row. And I described her to them. And sure enough, the father and mother were in the back row, and they stood up. And the girl said, Daddy, I want to thank you for the angel wings for my birthday, because today was her birthday. And he said, oh, my gosh, I love my angel wings. The man turns around, takes off his T-shirt, and he had tattooed angel wings on his back for his daughter's birthday.
Oh, my goodness.
That's how emotional it can become.
So, you know what?
Imagine that.
Sometimes it's almost too much for some people. You must get skeptics as well. It's people who say, I don't believe in any of this. Like, really, seriously. I've been dragged here by my wife or my girlfriend, or I've been dragged by my brother or my mother. Like, do people, like, what do you say to them?
I just say be open to the experience. Whatever happens, happens, and whatever you want to believe, you can. But it doesn't. You don't have to believe. I'm not forcing you to you. But I tell you, inevitably, at the end of the show, I have husbands come to me and say, "I was a skeptic before this. I didn't believe in it. There's no way you could have known that stuff. That's just so weird. That stuff that you got." And they change right there. It's a little confrontational for some people, because they have a certain way of thinking. Their paradigm is a certain way. And then when I introduce a whole new way of being, of living, of thinking, of understanding, it forces them to change and to look at things in a different way, which is really what the work is about. It's to help people to open up their minds and their hearts.
Gosh. Well, James Van Praagh, it's a pleasure talking to you today. I wish I had more time. I wish we had more time to do a whole episode here on your visit. You're doing 5 cities, right?
Yes, I am. 5 cities, yes. Belleville, yes, I'm doing Belleville, and I'm doing also Belleville, Ontario, of course. We're going to go to Ottawa, and then we're going to go to Sudbury, Ontario, right? And then Timmins.
Timmins is your last stop. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you. Very, very interesting. I just don't know where this is going to go, and we're always we're always looking for
the show.
No, but
your life will change, I guarantee it.
Well, thank you very much, James.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Go, and we're always we're always looking for
the show.
No, but
your life will change, I guarantee it.
Well, thank you very much, James.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Bye-bye.